Welcome back. This is World Talks on TVP World. My name is Anna Kalczyńska. Poles are getting armed. Polish authorities noticed a major increase in guns permits granted. In 2022, police issued just 154 such permits, but last year's figure was over 9,000. With Magdalena Jakubowska, Vice President, Res Publica Foundation, we'll try to understand what's behind this trend. Good morning, Magda, and thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Anna. Good morning, everyone.
In order to receive a gun license in Poland, applicants must pass medical tests and an exam, as well as join an approved gun club. Each applicant is thoroughly checked physically, mentally, and needs to be tested by the police. Do you believe that the rules are too strict?
Well, so far, the rules were considered very strict. That's true. But on the other hand, it is, of course, quite important to have the kind of understanding what the firearms are. Why is it important that the owner or someone who is using this gun is healthy, is stable in what he's doing, and he knows where the boundaries of using the weapon are. Therefore, I don't think that those barriers are stricter than anywhere else. We just are lesser lesser happy to fulfill all those requirements. But this is like the Polish national trait that we treat such tests and with a little kind of laziness, let's say.
And what's the motivation between such a spike in applications this year?
Well, obviously, people there are a few reasons. One is, of course, what is happening with our security externally or in this more global picture, meaning we are a bordering country to a country that is under war. And people are more and more afraid that this war will grow. Latest polls show that over 45% Poles are afraid of this escalation of war and maybe even the Third World War. This is what the statistics say, and this is visible in what we talk about more arms or more understanding of the security threat, more arms, but also this kind of preparedness. People did open up to collect, I don't know, foods and kind of skills to survival. We can also say that this larger number of licenses for guns is connected to sports. Poles are more and more interested in what used to be a very expensive hobby, which is shooting. Shooting arenas are very popular nowadays. They are building up. More and more people are learning to shoot, and therefore, again, the growth is there. Also, what we mentioned earlier, those barriers to access to firearms are a bit more lifted. In 2023, we had a special acts there to kind of lighten up or loosen up access to weapons for those who had military experience. Or were parts of the service, meaning police or fire fighters. So therefore, this comprised to more of those licenses. However, we have to mention that Poland is still the last one in Europe on the list of those who those accesses to firearms have. The license are more than 300,000 now. The number of weapons is let's say 1 million of personal weapons. This is really little. And so far, of course, with this limitations to the access and maybe a very expensive training, because for Poles this is still quite an expensive hobby. We were because of this, we had lessers of those licenses and weapons in personal hands.
Absolutely.
Now it is growing.
To what you've said, that Poland is the least armed in the EU. The number of guns per 100,000 people in Poland stands at just 2.5 compared to 19.6 in neighboring Germany, and the list is topped, of course, by Finland with 32.4 firearms per 100,000 residents. So we understand the motives for that, and you've just mentioned them. Now, the new regulations you've been talking about facilitated access to weapons and also strengthened well, the intention of the legislation was to increase the country's defense potential. Can you think of any other means of strengthening the civil resistance? We've just mentioned Lithuania, which is on its way to train school children in operating drones. Do you think such a program could be also of use in Poland?
There are multiple programs we should introduce. We should definitely make more understanding of our security and the security that we really face in Poland. People should be going through trainings. It was already mentioned that by the Prime Minister that we will have obligatory military training for all of the citizens, including women, although that was a longer talk whether women should also be. But we shouldn't exclude anyone from such processes. Trainings, military trainings how to defend yourself, self-defense in many occasions. We should be aware of the threat, what can happen, what are the real issues that a person may face, because we are now, not all of us will be fighting at the battlefield, for example. But anyways, we should understand what are the threats connected with cybersecurity, of our own cybersecurity, personal cybersecurity, disinformation. People are being disinformed. I mean, there is a lot of the pool of education that each Pole should be taken is quite huge. Definitely. Having games and plays with children from the small ones, especially in the countries that are threatened or under, we are on Eastern Flank, our geography won't change. So we definitely should be investing into that. And I think Lithuania and Latvia as well, because I know that there are multiple programs in all of the Baltic states, is quite far with that. Definitely, this literacy and understanding fake news, how the news world is working, is one of those. Definitely, people should know how to defend themselves. This is on every threat. You don't need war for that. And I think that we should already, train school kids how they should, react in crisis situations.
Well, definitely, country's defense potential has many facets. So thank you so much, Magdalena Jakubowska, for elaborating on this. And have a good day. Thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you for your attention here in World Talks. Please stay tuned to TVP World for more interesting features.